Hello everybody and welcome back to this famous Kyalami Grand Prix circuit for the IWTR Wolf Series Season 4. That's right, we are back after almost 4 months of absence after we last had action at the Interlagos circuit back in Season 3 finale. We're here in South Africa at the Kyalami circuit. It's the racetrack that last held its F1 race in 1993, but it also will play host for the 4th consecutive season for the season opener of this series as well. So it is just being the traditional home for the Wolf series. As you see right here, the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit is located at Gauteng, South Africa, as it is a 4.261 kilometer circuit or 2.648 miles, 13 corners, 8 to the left and 5 to the right. The track opened in 1961, but the layout is obviously being a lot different than we have right here. But this particular layout, F1 has visited here twice in 1992 and 1993, but that's about it, and F1 never came back to this famous circuit in South Africa again, unless if they just want to come back from 2020 or 2024, we never know. But this track, it's all about the pit strategy. The track is narrow, especially in 1993 version of this track, so yeah, the pit stop strategy is key here. And here we are here at the track sides at the Kyalami circuit. Hello everyone, once again, I'm your host and your commentator Pauser here. As it is, I've been missing this series quite a lot, being a host and a commentator at the same time. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to return to hosting this race. And as before mentioned, but yeah, this race will mark the 4th season, the start of the 4th season of the World Formula Series. So we have new cars, new teams, and new drivers as well, which we have 6 rookie drivers that will be making their debut today, and also 4 new teams that will be also debuting with the rookies. But there are 1 team that are actually debuting both their teams and the drivers themselves. So yeah, lots of things to play out for, but honestly, it is time for the starting grid and the formation lap of the South African Grand Prix. And here it goes now. It is going to be a starting grid for today's race. On pole position is the Panasonic Toyota racing driver of Alex Luwan. First race, and he already shows some promises, even though in the preseason testing didn't really go much well for him. But yeah, he lines up on pole today, and alongside him is Noah Tuamela, who moves to Jaguar after being with Manor last season. Jafari Blackwood still stays with McLaren, and alongside him in the second row is Adia Backers, who moves from Mercedes to Williams. Matthew Falcon and Mr. Peanut Butter, probably one of the randomest names, the most random name in the WFS grid so far, the lines of 5th and 6th respectively. Mihaly Savak, the returnee to the sport, he lines up in P7, and Mitch Johnson lines up in 8th place. Raymond Tanner, one of the rookies that will be debuting in this race, alongside him is Lippy Pasale, who still stays with Force India. Bremen Pilch and Sepp Plebs both line up alongside each other in row 6, 11 and 12 respectively. Harry J. Brown and Dylan Holt lines up in row 7, Dylan Holt obviously being moved from Williams to Renault. And of course, Harry J. Brown still stays with the Force India team. Flandre Wilson moves to Porsche after previously being with Lotus in the season 3. Alongside her is Tina Harrison in the Sauber, moved from McLaren to Sauber. Then Cesar Cohen Jr., another returnee to this series, alongside her is Zlatko Drobozajevic, who will be alongside Flandre Wilson as the team in the Takoya Porsche F1 team. Sotiris Contagouris will lines up P19. Luca Farina lines up in P20. He's back at the Maranello. Actually, it is the first time that he's driving for Maranello. And next row we have Zorba Jan still staying with the Scuderia Ferrari. And Porsche Shoshainats, the third Thai driver in WFS history, lines up in row 11. Row 12 we have Simon Witt and Seren Kaya, both lines up in row 12. Obviously Simon Witt being the Season 2 World Champion, and Seren Kaya, who is trying to make a redemption season for him to make it work, but it seems as though he doesn't really have that much of luck going on. And then Nick Koch and Acatino Bivona both lines up in the front row of the grid. But Nick Koch, yeah, one of the new drivers, the first ever Danish driver to ever participate in any IWTR sanctioning race. And Bivona obviously being moved from Red Bull, who had a pretty okay-ish season with Red Bull last season, but being dropped and for Simon Witt to come back from Toro Rosso. So yeah, Bivona so moves to McLaren. 28 laps of actions here for the South African Grand Prix. We will see what will happen in this race. So it is going to be a full set of red lights. And it's all lights out. And we're going green here at Kyalami. Luan gets a pretty good start there. Jafari Blackwood is alongside him, and then Tuamela around the outside, and Blackwood comes back at him in turn 1. Now into turn 2 we go, and Backers tangles with Tuamela. Both of them still going fine, and it's going to be a little bit of a concertina effect that happens on the back here. And you see there, and Prima Pilch trying to go down the inside on Raymond Tanner. Tanner's just trying to hang on in there on the inside. So right into turn 5, Prima Pilch still a bit slow coming off of that turn 5. I think he might have just gone loose there. And I think Pilch, yeah, coming up and goes on the inside, and he takes P9 now. And you see the rest of the field, and still pretty tight and squeezy there. And you see that Nick Koch start making moves already. He's actually up 4 positions from the starting spot there to P21. Then here comes Simon Witt now. Looks on the inside of Luca Farina. It really wasn't happening at all, but then you see Senenkaya there in P24 not really making any progress there. Meanwhile, have to crash his car. There we go. And now on to lap 2 of the race now. Alex Luan in the front, then Jafari Blackwood in second place, Noah Somel in third. Also the backers, they still stay pretty tight, I would say, pretty close to each other. Cohen Jr. there, one of the return drivers, still right behind Dylan Holt. And I think that Ferrari might have a little look on the inside there. There's Zorba Jan going on a move on Drobo Zarjevic. Jevic still hangs on in there, and he closed the door on turn 7. He doesn't get passed through there for Zorba Jan, so he has to stay for P20 for now. So far, no crashes so far, but there almost being a tangle there between Baggers and Tuamela in the first lap of the race. But yeah, it wasn't really close, really too close for comfort though. So yeah, Luan leads into lap number 3. Jafari Blackwood up 1 positions from his starting spot. He went on the inside, trying to defend his line coming into turn 1. So now the only thing that he could do now is catch up to Alex Luan. There you see Sepp Plebs, the runner-up of the last season's champion. Still couldn't really do much here in Red Bull. And here comes now, that's Tin Anderson. Looks on the inside, but then really wasn't there, as he was not really close enough to go for a move or an attack. But he's probably close enough to try to pressurize Sutcliffe into a mistake. And here he goes now. Everybody's just down into the turn 9 section here. It is a kind of a hairpin over here. Everybody's still going fine there. Pro and Pilch in 9th place. Still staying pretty decent so far here. And you see that these set players are really getting close to Flonder Wilson in the Porsche. Porsche seems to be one of the teams that are the one to beat, as they had solid cars in the preseason testing. And obviously it's not about breaking the cars, obviously. It does now. Wilson 13th, and she's still right behind the 2 Force Indians there of Asalik and Luan, Brown. Yeah, here we go now. Alex Luan in the lead of the race still, and Jafari Blackwood in 2nd place, to Amela in 3rd, and then Baggett in 4th. Of course, Alex Luan, if you guys remember, he was one of the endurance special event drivers, but unfortunately he crashed out during the race in a spectacular fashion, flipping over with the Toyota TS030 Le Mans, the LMP1 car. So now he's moving up to a Formula 1 car now, which I would really hope that maybe it could have turn around his luck there. So here he goes now. The number 43 Panasonic Toyota F1 Racing Team car is now leading away for 4 laps now into lap 5. Meanwhile, he's literally in the sandwich of the Jaguars. You see, Tuamela leads the 2nd pack, I would say, but well, leads the next train ahead. She's there. Matthew Falcon didn't lose any positions, but Tuamela actually lost a position in the start of the race. We lose it to Jafari Blackwood. Mr. Peanut Butter doing decent so far for his debut. The American driver, and who will probably have the most weirdest and the most random names in the WFS history. So yeah, here he goes now, and Mihaly Savak in 7th place. But still, he come back from was being scammed by the Discord Nitro, where he had some issues earlier in the season 3, where he was being scammed with the Discord Nitro scandal. But fortunately, he was able to climb back, and the ban was undoubtedly being ended. The ban period was eventually ended, and he came back to join WFS once more. Last season, he actually raced for Force India for I think 2 races until he got the scam. But now he's back on the grid with Williams. So let's see what his race pace is going to be like, but it seems like it's pretty good for him so far, for Mihaly Savak. And Mitch Johnson there in 8th place was the reigning world champion right around the corners in P8. We're actually on lap 6 of the race now, so really that far, to be honest. So we see now Alex Luan will cross the line into lap 7 now. 6 laps lead. 6 laps that he has led over the course of the race so far. Still no position change. I'm really surprised at how the field is being spread out quite severely. Let's have a look on board with Nick Koch there. He was up 3 positions from his starting spot in P25, and now he's literally within the train of... There's no DRS zones here, so you have to be a bit careful of where you're choosing to make a move. So So yeah, here we go. And still, yeah, pretty much everybody just have a little bit of gap between each other. Well, probably about 7/10 or even second between those guys. Yeah, here we go. So now here goes that Dylan Holtz in P16. Wasn't really doing that much of a thing, to be honest, in P16. And here it goes now. Tim Anderson looks on the inside. He tried to go for a defensive move there for Dylan Holtz. And you see there, and there's a lot of gaps being spreading around. So I mean, this track is quite difficult to pass, quite difficult to pass the other guys or overtake them. So yeah, and the track simply is a little bit narrow. You see right here, but it's kind of fit 2 to 3 cars there. If you see that right there, but still they're going on the racing line. You could see that there's not much room to work with, to be honest. But yeah, maybe it's still good enough to put on, you know, a decent race. But still, let's have a look and see now. Luan now leading the pack away with Blackwood in second place, and then another 3-second gap until we find Tuomela once more. And Backers actually had a worse exit there, coming off the turn 12. Into 13 he goes, and it feels like it's, and here he goes now. Oh, and Mitch Johnson there, I think having a little bit of issues there coming off that corner, getting slowed down quite a bit. And you see there, Brendan Pilch in 9th place. Actually, that is his former teammates there, now in the Mercedes outfit. So yeah, the Sauber's Mitch Johnson, he has to kind of have to be careful with it. And here it goes now. Brendan Pilch trying to look on the inside into turn 6. I think he might got the move done, but it's still not done yet. Pilch still hang on the inside, but now it's turned on the inside for Mitch Johnson. He still hangs on into P8. So the battle became a little bit more heat, a little bit more fiery there. It's getting a little bit more intense there for those two guys who were teammates in the past, in the last season. And now he's eventually actually making a little train for themselves as well. And you see Raymond Tanner just into the points position now, and you see Livin Pasalic there in P11. So it honestly could be a 3-star or 2-star in this race. We'll have to wait and see there. Brown taking to P12 still, and there Flondreau Wilson in the number 23 car, pretty much reminiscent of Alex Albon's car, Alex Albon's number. But yeah, still so far so good for these guys. And actually Tuomela has actually slowed down quite considerably there. You see their backers now getting loads of grip there, coming off of that turn 8, turn 9, and yeah, that's about turn 8, and then into turn 9. Here we go. Gap's being spread out a little bit, but he's about 7/10 of a gap. Let's have a look on more. So it goes now back. This is still trying to hang on in there, but still not really that much. And here goes now into the next couple of corners. Still at 7/10 of a gap, but you see there the gaps between third and the rest of the field is actually getting reduced down even more now. So they might have some issues here, but here goes now. Actually, some of the guys are starting to pit until we're almost going to go into the halfway point of the race. So there are two of them being Tuomela and Mihaly Sevak. What about the rest of the field? Nobody's still going to the pits yet. Oh, actually, Pongsheng Shoshine up there, the Thai driver, opting to go pits early, just to make sure that he doesn't get swamped by the traffic that he's going to encounter if he's going to pit later in the race. So obviously going to take that chance and undercut probably everyone there. And because now Luan still actually in front, but only 1.3 second gap. And there goes now Tuamela being the first to get into the pit lane. Now we're into lap 12 of the race. And he goes into the pits, he goes, Tuamela. What's his stop time going to be? 5.48. Not too shabby. Definitely not too shabby. And there's also Mihaly is about 4.25, so not too far behind Tuamela. And here comes now Ponsho Shoshana being the last to come into the stop, and he's going for a ultra soft tire. 5.1, that's a bit worse than the rest of the guys that gone to the pits this lap. But he's going ultra soft tire. Everybody else going for ultra soft tire as well. Nick Koch gonna be the next to pit, and here he goes now. It's a train forming here. That's Henry Jack round. He's gonna go to the pits this lap. Oh, and he's gonna held up some of the cars here, and I think Sepp Plebs will have a look on the inside of Tin Harrison now. I think they're gonna be alongside each other. Sepp Plebs still edges in front. And there you see there, Cesar Cohen Jr. slow down. Is she gonna go to the pits there? I think she will. I think she will go into pit lane this lap. But here comes now Flunter Wilson. Still run out of Force India, but both of the Force Indias into the pit lane. So it might be a little bit of double stacking there as Dylan Hope goes down the inside Tin Anderson and probably taking on position from him. Yes, he does. And now the battle is actually intensifying even more now, as you see now Slatko. Oh, and he's going to the pits this lap. But Cesar Cohen Jr. doesn't. So she's still, yeah, she's going around the outside there into P6. And now the rest of the front is actually going to the pit soon, and Raymond Tanner is the only one that's very much in the midfield that's still yet to pit, but he's coming in this lap. And Flonder Wilson as well. We're on lap number 14 of the race, and you see the packs behind, and Cesar Cohen Jr. is not pitting yet. What strategy is she even on? We don't really exactly know, but she's doing something that is really out of the ordinary for everyone here. So here we go now, Cesar Cohen Jr. She might actually be looking for a one-stop or something, but if she changes to a ultra soft tire, then that could have been a problem there. If Blackwood goes there inside on Drubozarjevic and retakes that P7 back, as you see here, that the ultra soft tire is a lot faster. Now Cesar Cohen Jr. staying out on a soft tire. And there goes now Raymond Tanner. Oh, he's being held up. He's being held up in the pit lane, so that means he's going to come out way worse in the field. But now you see now it is Cesar Cohen Jr. leading, but Jafari Blackwood in second place. He is already in the pits, and you see there Sotoris Contagores in fourth, but he's yet to pit. And Tuamela is in fourth right now, and then Savak up 2 positions into 5th place. Backus meanwhile drops back 2 positions after starting 4th, and Mitch Johnson actually up 1 position, so that means probably Andre Wilson. Oh, she almost went off the track there, almost into the gravel, and now she's being overtaken by Mr. Peanut Butter as well. So I think, yeah, I think she's probably being held up in the pits. I feel like that's probably it. Yes, she does. Actually, her pit box is actually in front of the pit exit. So yeah, she could just come up pretty easily there, but yeah, I don't really know. But she's stopped very late compared to the other guys. And here we go now, Jafari Blackwood's trying to go down the inside on Cesar Cohen Jr. I think Cohen Jr. might have to yield because she has to pit this lap. And she does yield, and Blackwood really takes the lead of the South African Grand Prix now. And as we're heading to the halfway mark of the race now. So far, it is Blackwood fastest lap. Oh, and Prem Pilch fastest lap there, 1:13.876. And so far, so good for Jafari Blackwood. He had a decent debut back at the season 3. So is this gonna be another win for him in the World Formula Series? This of course will be, I think, probably his second or his third win of his career, and he probably gonna kick off the season 4 with a bang there. Here we go now. It's still, yeah, Blackwood leads from Noah Tuomela in second place. Then Mihaly Savak, the return is almost looks as though his return would be completed with a podium, but we can't really decide yet because we're still, I think some of these guys will still yet to pit for the next couple of laps. But here he goes. Blackwood has 7.4 lead over Noah Tuomela, and I think Zavak has like a couple of tenths behind that Jaguar, and Backus was not too far behind as well. Keep that in mind. And Mitch Johnson there, the reigning world champion, doing pretty decently. Normally in World Formula Series, the world champion doesn't really do well when it's a new season, but it seems as though it looks as though, as you see there, Tina Anderson's the fastest lap time, 1:13.861. But as seen right now, Mitch Johnson is doing pretty decently as the reigning world champion, and he might put himself into a fight here between him and Adia Backus as well. It's all being bunched up once more. But you also see there Akazi Buvono, disappointing start for him as well. Down in P26. What even is going on with him? He had a... oh. What did he even hit? Oh, yeah, it could be a struggle of the car itself for Bivona. He really struggles the car quite a lot compared to his teammate there, Jafari Blackwood. He's pretty much just trying to win the race now. Still, we can't really decide it yet, and here goes now both the Force India drivers. They're gonna have to battle each other now into turn 1 and turn 2. Still yet to look pretty good, but here comes now, and Sotoris Contagouris actually sets a fastest lap time there as well, 1:13.701. Here it goes now, and Liffin Pasalic is looking on the inside on Paul Shoshina there. Shoshina actually taking advantage of the pit stop, and he's now up to P10. But then you see there Pasalic still hang on the outside. Paul Shoshina is just alongside the German driver, and Shoshina, he's gonna go around the outside, but he's gonna be a little bit vulnerable as here comes now Henry Jack Brown. Looks on the move here. Sorry. But yeah, here it goes now. Brown, he might have a look on this on the inside of turn 12. It might not be enough there. He has to settle for P11 for now, but Pungshan Shine there. Well, lost a position now, and here comes now Mr. Peanut Butter. It's just he's getting close there. The only American driver on the grid so far in this season, and doing decent job so far for his debut here for Renault. And now here comes Pedro Jean now. He's also taking advantage of the traffic in the pit lane. So he could well be in front. He's still yet to find any rooms to go for it now. And here goes now Petrojani, just really close now on the back of that Rando. Oh, almost a contact there. The same could be said for Flondra Wilson there. Really close on the back of that Toyota of Cesar Cohen Jr. And here he goes now and into this corner. Nick Koch actually catching up to the field, as you see there. Peng Shou China is going to the pit lane. This lap, the tires is kind of disintegrated pretty quickly there for the ultra soft tire. And here it goes. Tuomela in the pit lanes, and comes also Mihaly Savard as well. And I think that yes, still going for this ultra soft tire. And I think that is, oh yeah, look at that, Flondra Wilson, the only one that stays on the soft tire there. So a differing of strategy here going on, and here comes Raymond Tanner just going on the inside, nudges Sepp Plebs off the way. Although I think Sepp Plebs had a better corner there coming off turn 3, and he does. But yeah, a little bit of nudge there between both Red Bull cars, and now it's being all loosened up. And here goes now Drobozarjevic and alongside, and look at that, who was that? That is Sotoris Contaguris. Goes for, I think, a 2-car move there into turn 7 there, and Drobozarjevic now goes for a move as well, and he goes up to P14. I mean, look at that move. That's almost a 2-car move. That's almost a 3-car move there for Sotiris Contaguris. But yeah, he's also being mucked there. You see that right there. Drobozarjevic go for a 2-car move there into turn 9. And here he goes, and oh, and Tanner just gonna go for it, and he's gonna go for 2-car moves. He's done the same as, well, Drobozarjevic and Contaguris does, and he's getting 2 positions free for himself. And now he's only just a couple of car lengths away there from Flondra Wilson, and now you see a lot of activities in the pit lane. And there is I think that's Mitch Johnson. They're coming out of the pits. Yep, comes out in P15, just right behind his teammate there, Tina Anderson, but he's also going to have to pit as well. Savard actually stay in front. Oh, please don't nudge unnecessarily. And there you see everybody in front going to the pit lane soon. But Contaguris, he's going for it. Oh, and he looks to go around the outside on Sepp Plebs, but really wasn't doing him any favors there. Noah Tuomela there just right behind him, and Contaguris still right behind that Red Bull, still blocking their Sepp Plebs, but he has to give in a position. He's going to the pit soon. But Cesar Cohen Jr. goes up 2nd place, staying in front of all day long, and then actually taking advantage of a pit stop there for Cesar Cohen Jr. into P2, then Flondra Wilson in 3rd. But eventually they were probably going to have to go to the pits there, and here goes Raymond Tanner in the pit lane. Drobozarjevic also as well, and then Sepp Plebs himself in the pits. You see both Red Bulls into the pits as well. 3.83 seconds being held up by the traffic there. Oh boy, and there's going to be a bit of swap here going on. But Bivona there, 38 seconds behind everybody else, which is just an enormous gap there. But you see, meanwhile, his teammate, Jafari Blackwood, gained 2 positions, and now he's in front all day long. Meanwhile, Cesar Cohen Jr. in 2nd place after starting 17th. But there you see there, the only one that's going to one stop there, it seems like it's Flondra Wilson, who's only go for the only one that goes into the soft tire. could be a two-stop for her as well. As you see now, Contagouris into the pit lane this lap. And Mihaly Zavak actually goes up P5 now after that. Now Contagouris into the pit lane. What tire is he even going to change? He's still going to stay in this ultra soft tire in the purple white line tire. You see on the back there, the gap's pretty spread out. And oh, who was it? I think that was Contagouris just coming out in front of his teammate Raymond Tanner. You see Sepp Klebs all dropping back quite literally, and oh, Backers trying to go on the inside of China. He's going to have to defend his position. The rookie showing his promise earlier on in the season, and China goes on the inside. He defends his position pretty well there. China, man, that was a great defense there. Oh, they make contact between Baggers and China, and I think that the Mercedes is going to take the advantage there, Prem and Pilch. And he does, and he's going to look to go on the inside of China as well. They're really close to each other, and then here comes now Baggers on the inside of Pilch. Pilch still trying to hang on there into turn 12. Now to 13 they go. They're still going alongside each other there, but Pilch probably going to go on the inside and finish the move done. And he does. Yes, he does. He goes up back into P9 finally. But Alex Luwan, there you see his teammate, Cesar Cohen Jr. comes out in P13 after that pit stopped. But now it's going to be a little bit of falling down here, as you see now. Mitch Johnson now trying to catch up to Mihaly Zavak. And Shoshinat still hanging on there. The rookie showing a lot of promise at the start of the season in the Haas with a new team as well. That is incredible there. So it really literally reminds me of Haas in 2016 where they debut. Well, hold on there. Cesar Cohen Jr. goes on the move on the inside on Henry Jack Brown. I think she could got the move done. She does. Goes up to P12, and Mr. Peanut Butter, I think he might fancy try to go on the inside as well, but I think he probably not, and he still stay behind that Force India. Still staying in P14, but he's 8 positions down from the starting spot, so that is a little bit worse than, to be honest. And anyway, here he goes now. We only have about 5 laps to go in this race. It's going really quick here in the Kyalami circuit. But you see the Jafari Blackwood. He already pitted himself, and he got a 20-second gap lead. Actually, wait. I don't think he probably didn't pit yet. He only goes for 1 stop there or something. Actually 2 stop with ultra soft, with a soft and then ultra soft and then ultra soft. Another set of ultra soft. There you see Flondra Wilson in 2nd place, staying that tire for I think about 10 to 12 laps ish now. And I feel like she could be in the contention into the podium places. And oh, and Bivola comes into stopped. 4.38 seconds for him. And he's probably gonna get in the way of the lead lap cars now. But there you see now, Savak is under pressure from the reigning world champion. As you see now, Mitch Johnson just try to pressurize him, trying to make him a mistake. Meanwhile, over here at the back, right now it seems as though it's really close over here. As you see, there's Cesar Cohen Jr. in P10. Looks to have a move there. She has a bit of fresher ultra soft tires, and she might have gone for it on backers there into turn 4, but it wasn't meant to be. And it, as the doors quickly shut there into turn 4 and now into turn 5, 6 now, into turn 7, And Cohen Jr. might try to go around the outside on Backers. Would it work though? Oh, but she's still alongside. She has the momentum, but Backers also has momentum because he has a better line on the inside. But now they're going to be alongside each other down into turn 10 and to 11. 11 they go. Cohen Jr. makes the move done into P9. What a move there, and here goes now Luan. Could he be able to get himself into the top 10? We'll have to wait and see. We're now into lap 25 of the race. Only 4 laps to go in this race. Going by pretty quickly, but brown peanut butter there, and then you see Nick Koch in P15, gain 10 positions there. And and who was that? That is a Prem and Pilch. What on earth even happened to them? So it was over here, Prem and Pilch. Oh boy. That's one of the, I think that is Cesar Cohen Jr. who made that move. Oh, did she just nudge him off there? For Cohen Jr. So we'll wait and see. Oh, I mean, did he nudge her? Did she even nudge her? Oh, yeah, it seems like she nudged him off. And that could have caused some damage to the tyre as well for Prem and Pilch. So he's dropped back to P12 now. Well, that will be under investigation. And now here comes Cohen Jr. trying to go on the inside of Shoshana. Can Shoshana even defend that position? No, he can't. Cohen Jr. making some impacts here, showing that she hasn't lost any speed while she was being out of the of just one season of the World Formula Series. And that is a very fast car there. But Shoshana, he done his best to try to defend from her. Still P8 though. And now you see there, actually 4th, 5th and 6th are actually really close to each other now. So we see now Savak now going to still in P4 there, trying to defend from Mitch Johnson. But Johnson, does he still have enough grip on that tyre left to try to attack on Savak? But definitely Cesar Cohen Jr. is definitely on attack here. She is gaining time quite a lot here. But it goes now, she is getting real close to that. Those cars are on 4th, 5th and 6th place. But yeah, we're only about a couple of laps to go now in this race. 2 to go to be exact. And you see some of the drivers here, and they're still doing okay-ish. There's still nothing to behold. And here goes now, I think that's the leader crossing the line. Now it starts the final lap of the South African Grand Prix. But yeah, see some of these guys there. Flondra Wilson, I think the gap is pretty far ahead, so it's all about these cars now. And you see there Cohen Jr. catching up to now only just under 2 seconds now. We're on to the final lap of the race now. And here he goes, and these guys and Mitch Johnson are getting real close on that bump, on that back wing of Mihaly Savak. Savak still trying to hang on in there. Cohen Jr. in P7. And here it goes now, and it's getting real close. It's getting real tense here, coming off the final lap. And you see here the gap's still pretty intensifying here, but there you see now we're gonna have to move the cameras back to the McLaren driver of Jafari Blackwood. Last season he had a couple of wins to his name in his debut season. This time he comes round the final quarter to win the season opener here at Kyalami for the South African Grand Prix. That is Jafari Blackwood. wins the South African Grand Prix there, and Flondra Wilson will come home in P2 for the Porsche. First race, a podium for them already, and Noah Turmella as well. First race, first podium for the team, and that is going to be a big celebration for the team there. And you see the other guys are now crossing the line, and it's really close, to be honest. But Alex Luan will be the last point scorer of today's race. As there you see Livin Pasalic just so close to getting to the points, but really it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, everybody now close out, and it is Blackwood wins, and then Flondra Wilson in second place, and then Tuamela in third. Savard managed to hold on. Mitch Johnson in fifth place. Matthew Falcon will finish in sixth place. Cesar Cohn Jr. in P7. Bonjour Shashinat in P8. Really decent opening debut for him, the Thai driver there. And Adia Baggers, a good start for his new team at Williams, and Alex Luan in P10. Livin Pasalic in P11, as mentioned, so close to getting into the top 10. Prema Pilch in P12. I guess it's a pretty decent start here for him as a Mercedes driver. And then Harry Jack Brown in P13 there. Mr. Peter Murray, not a decent start to his career in World Formula Series, but still managed to. But still, P14 there for him. Nick Koch actually had a very good start to his season there. You see that 10 positions up from his starting spot there. And Zori Precision, P16, not the start that he would have hoped for, but yeah. And Sotiris Contagouris in P17 there. Sepp Leps, the runner-up from last season, didn't really fare much better for him. Well, actually, he is a third. He's actually he actually is finished third in last season. Sorry, Precision is actually the runner-up of the last season. So yeah, Petrojan, not a starter he would have hoped for, but also the same could be said for Sepp Leps there. Raymond Tanner and Zlatko Drubozacevic 19th and 20th. Seren Kaya, it looks as though it might be the same, that it's gonna come for him, but let's just hope that it's just only gonna be for this race for him. But Seren Kaya, he looks to hope that a point scoring position would come to him soon. The same could be said for Simon Witt there. Didn't score any points, was fighting at the back all the time, and yeah, really just disappointing start to the season. Dylan Hope will finish in P23, and then Luca Farina in P24, and Tim Anderson in P25, and also Bivona finished one lap down, being the first driver to being a lap down in the season. Well, that's not a good, not exactly a good start for him, but yeah, he could do only just that. But yeah, it is just about to be enough here for today's race. Yeah, so it is just quite. There actually is a lot more action than we saw in the previous season. So honestly, it's not a bad start to the season of the IWTR World Formula Series Season 4. But yeah, yeah, congratulations to Jafari Blackwood for taking a win. Once more, last season he had, well, only one win to his name, but 3 podiums, which is just a massive amount for the guy who joined late in the season. But this is his first proper season of the World Formula Series, so we'll have to wait and see how he handles the racetrack once more, or the season and the car itself, since this is a new car for everyone, so the 2017 regulations from the real life Formula 1 season. And yeah, still a lot to learn for these drivers, but yeah, Jafari Blackwood wins the South African Grand Prix. Well, in the next round, we are heading back towards Asia. We are heading back to Malaysia. It is the Malaysian Grand Prix at the Sepang International Circuit. One of the legendary tracks on the calendar, we are delighted to see it back with the new cast. So yeah, let's see what happens when we reach there at Malaysia. And that's about it for this broadcast. As always, so if you like this kind of content and want to see more of these, make sure to subscribe to the International World Tour Racing channel. You give a like, a share, and a subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any races and the contents that will be coming to you in the future. And also, if you'd like to join this league, I'll put the Discord link in the description below. And that's it for me today. I've been Pausa, your host and your commentator, signing off for today. Goodbye.